And I've been looking for patterns of how technologies change behavior and change people's day-to-day lives.
We're here with Nir Eyal. You talked about hooked. You talked about being hooked on, I don't know, some kind of model.
Yeah, so I've developed a model to help entrepreneurs and designers form habit-forming technologies. So how do you build a product that keeps people engaged? That's the basis of the book I wrote called Hooked, How to Form Habit-Forming Products.
Are people, especially in social media, really able to create engagement?
Absolutely. So I think what we see time and time again in habit-forming products is the same basic pattern, which I call the hook model, of 4 steps: a trigger, an action, a reward, and investment. And by running users through these 4 steps of the hook model, we find that this is how habits are formed and how behavior is changed.
Is there really a revolution going on in user behavior?
I think so. I think our technologies are at a point where we're using them for good, that we can use our technologies to help people live happier, healthier, more productive, more connected lives by helping them use these technologies to form healthy habits. Now, much of this technology, much of this psychology has been used for nefarious purposes, and my reason for giving these workshops and for writing my book is to help people use this technology for good.
How do people use technology really to create engagement? I mean, creating engagement, it's quite complicated to create engagement. I mean, you're an engaging person or not.
Well, I think that the fact that technology is becoming closer to us physically, right? If we went from the desktop to the laptop to mobile and now to wearable devices, I think as the technology moves closer to our bodies, habits matters more. So designing products that people use spontaneously becomes more and more important.
Is there really a link between being depressed and for example, Facebook?
Well, I don't know about Facebook specifically. I haven't seen a study on that, but there was a study done on college students that were experiencing signs of clinical depression that showed that people who experience clinical depression check email more often. They use the web actually differently as well.
Talking about habits, is social media changing people or people changing social media as we speak?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's both. What we're seeing is more technologies that are able to change people at a faster rate, and also these technologies are engineered to change us as well.
How do they change us then?
So, they change our day-to-day habits. They change the way literally our brains are wired, so to speak. I mean, we know that our brains change when we learn any new behavior. And when technology is designed to be learning machines, they help us form these new behaviors faster than ever, then it really does change who we are. It changes our daily behaviors.
Does it really influence our brain in the way we think?
Absolutely. I mean, lots of things change our brain. I don't want to cast technology as different per se. It's just that if you were to design a system to help people acquire new behaviors, the web would be the archetype of a system that has fast feedback, that provides frequent triggers, and that's why these technologies are so able to change our day-to-day behaviors, because it's these frequent behaviors that are highly rewarding, which is why so many of us feel hooked to so many of our technologies.
Okay, final question. Could you describe some habits of the Dutch?
Habits of the Dutch. I have to pass on that. I don't know. Being happy and always being nice. They're extremely nice people, that's for sure.